I told my boyfriend I won't marry him if he keeps his friendship with my ex. So, Dylan has been my boyfriend for almost 5 years, and he asked me to marry him 9 months ago. We've known each other since high school, but at the time I was dating my ex-boyfriend Jason, so we were just friends. In short, he cheated on me more than once, and that's why we broke up. I went to college after that, where I met Dylan. Even though they went to the same high school, they never became friends. Well, Dylan held a party to celebrate our proposal, and Jason came with one of his friends. Unexpectedly, they became friends. Now, they text each other every day, hang out on weekends, and eat dinner together all the time. At first, I didn't give it much thought, but now I'm worried about it. After Dylan got home from work, we talked about this. I told him that I was worried about his friendship with Jason and how much time he spends with him, but he told me I was lying. We kind of had a fight about how Jason cheated on me and lied to me for years, and how could he be okay with that. He said that people can change and that he didn't mean it, etc. After that, we didn't talk much, but he apologized and said he'd take me to dinner at my favorite place the next day to make up for the time we haven't had these past weeks. I was so happy that I got my hair done and bought a really pretty dress that same day. Since he can't leave work earlier, we'd meet at the restaurant. Well, an hour went by and he wasn't there. I started to worry and called him over and over again. Then he came, and he looked awful. He was drunk and smelled like he had been smoking. I asked him where he was, but he tried to avoid answering. When I asked him again, his guilty face told me everything I needed to know. They were together. I got so angry that I left the place. We got into a fight outside, and he told me that he'd promised Jason that he'd go with him to his new bar and didn't want to break his word. But I said that it seemed like he cared more about him than us, and if he is that important to him, he should marry him. He said that he was the only one who could understand him. I used him and told him that I wouldn't marry him if he didn't stop. He started crying and called me an off for putting him in that situation, and then he left. Now, his mom and sister call me the and say I'm trying to control his life. I'm at my sister's house, but I'm not sure if what I did makes me the or not. Jason called me and asked if we could talk about something in person. He wouldn't say what it was, but he did say that it was important. So, here's the news. We talked at a coffee shop close to my house. He said he was sorry for what Dylan did and that if he had known Dylan already had plans with me, he would have canceled right away, because he cares about me, and said he was sorry for the problems we had in the past. He also said he has changed and is a better person now. I didn't waste any time and just asked him what he wanted. He then told me that he was only telling me this because he cared about me and wanted me to be happy. Dylan is gay, not bisexual. He is gay. Since high school, when he cheated on me with Dylan, Jason has known. Someone sent me pictures of Jason kissing other girls, so I knew he was a cheater. I never saw him with a guy, so I didn't know he was bisexual. He said it was just a one-night stand and then stopped talking to him for a long time. Then Dylan called out to him to invite him to a party. He cheated on me again with Jason. We didn't live together at the time, so when I thought he was at his house, he was actually hitting him. Jason realized that what they did was wrong and that he didn't want me to be with an like Dylan. So, he flirted with Dylan to get him to leave me so I could find someone who would treat me better. At first, he thought Dylan would do it, but as time went on, he learned that Dylan wouldn't let him go because he was so scared to tell everyone he was gay. Jason told him that if he loved him, he would leave me if he loved him. Dylan said no, so Jason acted like he was no longer interested in him. Dylan became obsessed with him and afraid that he would leave, so he would talk to him, see him, etc. whenever he could. But since he had never told me who he really was, he chose to do so now so I wouldn't waste any more time with him. I couldn't stop crying, and I was so sad that I didn't even notice when Jason hugged me. He kept telling me that he was sorry, but I needed to know the truth and that I could call him if I ever needed anything. I left the house and took everything with me. I took everything with me to my sister's house. Dylan hasn't even called or texted, so we still haven't seen him. Nothing. And I'm beginning to think that what Jason said is true. I feel hurt, angry, and like I've been lied to. I don't know what to do next, but I know the truth now. We appreciate you reading. I wasn't going to post again, but my sister asked me to give you one last report so that I could feel better. She told me about this forum, so I guess I should give her all the thanks. I didn't mean to cause trouble for the LGBTQ+ group with this. Saw words that made them feel bad. So please stop, because it's the reason why some people are still afraid to say what they want, which can lead to situations like mine. So, I guess I should tell you something new. Dylan didn't call me, so I forced him to tell me the truth. I went to see him because a friend told me he was with a friend. I tried to talk to him, but he didn't want to. He started by saying he was sorry and that he needed to get away for a while. I told him it wasn't important because I no longer wanted to get married. He was angry and tried to get me back. I told him I knew everything about Jason and him and that he was a coward for using me to hide the fact that he was gay. He was crying and saying that it was nonsense, that Jason was lying, and that I wanted to put him down. He gave up after a few minutes and begged me not to tell his family or anyone else. Even though I said I wouldn't do it, I won't marry him. He grabbed my hand after I gave him the ring. He asked me how I could do this to him and said I owed it to him. He hurt me, so I asked him to let me go, but he didn't. My friend had to separate us. Dylan was yelling and getting angry, telling me to stop lying because I had cheated on him with Jason and was trying to blame him by saying he was gay when he wasn't. He left when my friend told him to. After that, his family called me a fake and a snake and asked what I had done to him. I told them to talk to Dylan and warn them that if they kept bothering me, I would call the cops. Jason also tried to get in touch with me. He sent me flowers, which I threw away. I told him to stop bothering me and not talk to me again if he didn't want me to get a protection order against him. Since then, I haven't heard from them. Not sure how to start over. On July 5th, we were going to get married. This weekend is when I'm supposed to pick up my dress. My mom and sister said they'd help me, but they'll need me because I paid for it and I'm the only one who can stop it. Today, I got my hair cut, and on the way home, I cried. I'm crying too as I write this. So much has happened, and I feel like crap. So, I guess that's it. Sorry this was such a long post.